Space went silent. No trade ships, no broadcasts, no travelers. Everyone was watching. They had all seen the video, the dread star, the signal, the warning. Now they waited. And then it began. A human outpost on the edge of space. Station Orion 6. Stopped answering. No distress call, no alarm, just silence. The Galactic Council sent a small scout ship. What they found shocked the galaxy. The station was floating in pieces, torn apart from the inside. No bodies, no survivors, just burned marks and black ash where people used to be. On the wall of the control room, burned deep into metal, were the words, "We have returned." The enemy had arrived. The dread star was no longer drifting. It was moving now, slowly but surely, toward the center of the galaxy. A new signal spread across every frequency. Not a message this time. A sound. A deep, hollow scream, like metal grinding against bone. That's when people stopped laughing at the humans. That's when every species began to panic. The Council begged Earth for help. They said, "We need the Revenants. We need your soldiers." And for the first time, humans answered. From Earth's orbit, a massive ship appeared. The Deliverance. It was not flashy, not beautiful. It was a war machine. Black armor, red lights, no windows, just purpose. Inside stood Eric Voss and 1,000 Revenants. He gave a short message to the galaxy. "We trained for this. We were built for this. Do not follow us. Do not help. Just stay out of our way." The Deliverance jumped into deep space, toward the Dread Star, toward the enemy. Inside the Dread Star, there were no lights, no sounds, until the Revenants arrived. They dropped from orbit in black pods, silent, fast, and precise. They landed on the outer skin of the Dread Star and cut their way in. Eric Voss was the first through the breach. The enemy was waiting. Not machines, not aliens. Something worse. Biomechs. Creatures made of dead flesh and cold metal. No eyes, no mouths, just claws, blades, and hatred. They came in swarms. The Revenants did not run. They moved like one body, fast, silent, deadly. Bullets tore through steel. Blades sliced through bone. One Revenant fell, then another. But they kept pushing forward, because they were trained not to stop, not to feel fear, not to die until the mission was done. Voss led them to the core, a massive black heart beating slow and deep. Inside it pulsed the signal, calling more dread ships from across the stars. If they didn't stop it now, the galaxy was finished. Voss gave the order. Ended. The Revenants planted charges around the core. But the enemy was endless. They came from walls, ceilings, floors. Voss fought like a storm. 2 blades, 1 rifle, no fear. Blood and oil mixed on the floor. He reached the last control panel, the final detonation button. He pressed it. For Earth, he whispered. The core exploded. The Dread Star cracked open like an egg. Pieces burned across the sky. The Revenants were gone. Every single one. Back on Earth, the world watched the explosion in silence. A human commander spoke through tears. They didn't just save Earth. They saved everyone. A statue was built in their honor. A tall black figure with no name, holding a broken sword, standing alone. Beneath it were the words. They mocked the human threat. Then one video shut them up, and one sacrifice saved them all. The galaxy would never laugh at humanity again, because now, they knew. The galaxy had never feared humans before, but now, everything was changing. The video of Sergeant Eric Voss, the leaked files about Project Revenant, and the rumors of secret training camps had shaken every planet. Now, the leaders of the galaxy met in the most important place of all, the Galactic Council Hall on Virelium Prime. Inside, 500 alien leaders sat in a circle, kings, queens, generals, presidents, and warlords. They came from every powerful race, the Jarkans, the Velari, the Cathari, and more. At the center of the room floated a hologram of Eric Voss, standing in his bloody armor, fire behind him. Above it were the words, Project Revenant, a human threat. The room was loud with shouting. We must act before it's too late. Humans are building soldiers to take over the galaxy. This is not defense. This is preparation for war. But one voice silenced them all. It was High Chancellor Xeratek of the Vern Empire, leader of the Council, and the most powerful voice in the galaxy. He stood slowly and raised a hand. "We are not here to panic," he said in a deep voice. "We are here to understand." He looked around the room. For thousands of years, humans were weak, slow, easy to ignore. But now, we see something new, something dangerous. He turned toward a screen showing classified footage, humans training in the snow, fighting in low gravity, crawling through fire. "This is not evolution," Xeratek said. "This is preparation. The question is, for what?" Silence. Then, a short, nervous alien diplomat stood up. His name was Tarnan Lek from the peaceful Lutho species. I think we are looking at this the wrong way," he said. "What if the Revenants are not made to attack us? What if they are made to protect all of us?" Some aliens laughed. "Protect us? The humans?" But Tarnan continued. "I've seen parts of the second file. The threat humans are preparing for. It's not us. It's something else. Something bigger." The room shifted. General Vorax from the Jarkan Empire slammed his fist on the table. "It doesn't matter why they built them. What matters is what they can do. One human killed 300 trained soldiers. If humans can make 10 more like him, we're finished." Many nodded in agreement. And then came the final blow. An old security report was read aloud. "Earth has stopped all trade. All communication is silent. No messages in or out. They are closing their borders." The message ended with a chilling statement. "Do not come to Earth. You will not be welcome." The council went quiet. This was not normal. This was war behavior. Finally, Chancellor Xeratek spoke again. "I offer 2 options," he said calmly. 1. We open communication with Earth. We ask them what they are preparing for. We try to make peace. Or 2. We act now. Send a warning. Show strength. If we wait too long, we may regret it. Everyone knew what show strength meant. A surprise attack. The vote began. Some shouted for peace. Others demanded action. In the end, the decision passed by a narrow margin. Send a warning fleet to Earth. 50 warships. No weapons fired unless attacked. Show them we are not afraid. It was a foolish plan, a proud plan, and a dangerous one. As the council ended, some leaders left with smiles. Others left with fear in their eyes. One quiet ambassador, from a tiny moon colony, whispered to his aide, "They think they are sending a message, but I fear they are about to receive one instead." Back on Earth, deep under a mountain, a red light blinked in a quiet control room. A soldier looked at the screen and whispered, "They're coming." And in a dark training chamber, Revenant soldiers stood in silence. Eric Voss opened his eyes. "Let them come," he said. The video of Sergeant Eric Voss spread faster than anything the galaxy had ever seen. Alien teenagers copied his stance. Soldiers watched it before training. Some alien leaders called it fake. Others called it war. But one thing was clear. Nobody was laughing anymore. Everyone wanted to know. Was the video real? How did one human do that? Are there more like him? A special council was formed on the capital planet Varelian Prime. Scientists, military leaders, and war historians watched the video again in a large room. The screen showed the battlefield again. Burned land, alien bodies, one human, alone. The video then rewound and played again in slow motion. This time, the council watched every small move. They saw how Eric Voss used parts from broken weapons to build traps. He used fire from a destroyed ship to burn enemy fuel lines. He used dead alien armor to reflect laser shots. He even used alien fear against them, yelling, charging, making them panic. "This is not normal," one alien general said. "No soldier should think this fast." A scientist from the Zarn race stood up. He looked nervous. "I have studied human brains. Their fear response is different," he said. "When most creatures freeze or run, humans fight harder. They become creative." The council was quiet. The scientist showed another part of the video, when Voss smiled during the attack. That smile, the scientist said, is not joy. It is war focus. Humans enter something called battle mode. Their pain drops. Their speed increases. Their brain stops fear. They become something else. One alien queen asked, "But why haven't we seen this before?" Another general answered, Because humans never wanted to show it. Until now. Outside the council, the rest of the galaxy had questions too. Some aliens thought Earth faked the video using deep edit tech. But tech experts confirmed. No edits. No tricks. Real footage. A few brave alien reporters went to Earth to ask questions. But the humans gave no answers. They only said, "We trained to survive, not to impress." More rumors spread. Some said humans were building secret warriors underground. Others said humans were mixing machines with brains to make living weapons. Some believed Eric Voss was the only one. But many feared he wasn't. Meanwhile, new information came out. A second video was found. This time from an alien soldier who survived the ambush. He had hidden behind a rock during the fight. His shaky camera caught the moment when Voss ran past him, but didn't kill him. The survivor whispered, "He saw me, but he let me live." He looked straight at me and said, "Go tell them." The video ended. Now, people didn't just fear the human. They began to respect him. One news anchor from planet Karuk said he could have killed the last alien, but he didn't. That wasn't rage. That was a message. Back on Earth, no human leader made a public speech. No warning was sent. No threats. Just silence. But sometimes, silence is louder than words. And the galaxy was starting to hear it. They saw humans differently now. Not just soft-skinned creatures with silly ideas, but survivors, fighters, unpredictable minds. The joke was over. Now the question wasn't, are humans a threat? The new question was, how many more like Eric Voss are out there? Alien spies were sent to Earth. They tried to break into military bases, sneak into training camps, hack human files. Most of them never returned. One spy, captured near a mountain base, was released days later. He looked pale, shaken, and refused to speak. He only said one thing before he left Earth. They're ready for something. Something big. I don't think it's us. Across the stars, alien leaders began to meet in secret. Some wanted to make peace. Others wanted to strike first. But no one could forget what the video showed. One human. Surrounded. Outnumbered. And still, he won. And that video was only the beginning. Across the stars, on many alien planets, humans were a joke. In schools, alien children laughed when teachers showed pictures of Earth. "This is the weakest species in the galaxy," the teacher would say. "They cry when they are sad. They break easily. They live short lives. No claws. No strong skin. Just soft bodies and loud mouths." Alien leaders didn't fear Earth. On the official galactic threat chart, humans had a score of 0.2 out of 10. One alien podcast even made fun of humans every week. It was called Galactic Giggles. In one episode, a purple alien with 3 eyes joked, "If you see a human soldier, don't worry. Just sneeze on him. He'll die." The crowd laughed. Everyone laughed. Except one small alien named Click. He didn't laugh. Click worked in data storage for the Galactic Council. His job was boring. He cleaned old files, watched security clips, and deleted trash videos. But one night, while checking old footage, he found a video that changed everything. It had no title, no ID, just one label. "Do not ignore. Human danger proof." Click almost deleted it, but something about it felt wrong. He clicked play. The video started with silence. No music, no sound, just a dark sky and a burning colony. The camera zoomed in on a lone figure. One man, human, dressed in old armor, covered in blood and dirt. His name tag said, Steet E. Voss. Around him lay broken machines, fire and bodies, alien bodies, hundreds of them. Their weapons were still smoking, their eyes still open in fear. Suddenly, the screen showed a timer. -20 minutes earlier. Now the camera showed the same place, but the human was not alone. He was part of a team, 10 human soldiers. They were laughing, talking, ready for a mission. Then, out of nowhere, a loud sound echoed. A trap, from every direction. 300 alien mercenaries came out, armed, armored, ready to kill. The human team fought hard, but they were outnumbered. One by one, they fell. Laser shots, explosions, screams. Soon, only Sergeant Voss was left. Click watched closely. The human didn't run. He didn't beg. He didn't cry. Instead, he looked at the dead bodies of his team. Then he did something strange. He smiled. Click felt cold. In the video, Voss started running. Not away from danger. Towards it. He threw a small device into the ground. Then he grabbed wires from a broken ship, tied them to a power cell, and aimed it at a fuel tank. The aliens laughed. "What is he doing?" one of them asked. Then the human shouted, "Come and get me." The aliens charged, and that's when the trap started. Boom, boom, boom. Explosions rocked the battlefield. The power cell overloaded. Flames burst from hidden pipes. Electric wires shocked the aliens' armor. One explosion triggered another. Then another. The human had turned the battlefield into a maze of death. Click couldn't believe what he was seeing. It was like the human had planned it all in seconds. No special gear. No help. Just broken parts, dead teammates' tools, and pure madness. 8 minutes later, every alien was down. Some dead. Some just too scared to move. Sergeant Voss stood in the center, bleeding but alive. Then he looked up, at the camera. He said one thing. "You still think we're weak." The video ended. The screen turned black. Click sat frozen. He didn't move for 5 minutes. Then he replayed the video. Again and again. It wasn't fake. He checked everything. The date, the data code, the planet ID. It was real. Click didn't know what to do. This video was dangerous. If the galaxy saw this, everything would change. But deep inside, he knew. This truth must come out. So he uploaded it. He didn't put his name. He didn't say where it came from. He just called it One Human, 300 enemies. You decide. It spread across the galaxy in hours. People didn't laugh anymore. For the first time, alien leaders looked at humans with wide eyes. Not as a joke, not as a weak species, but as something they had never seen before. Something terrifying. And this was just the beginning. Commander Vell stood in the council chamber. She had just returned from Ashura with proof. Human logs, video messages, battle data, and the map of hidden defense sites. But the council did not cheer. They did not thank her. They looked angry. Council leader Yulin's glowing blue face was cold and sharp. Her voice echoed through the chamber. "This is nonsense. Fabricated. The humans planted it to scare us." Vell stepped forward. "No, council leader. I saw it myself. The bunker is real. The data is real. The harvesters are real." Gasps filled the room. Some members whispered. Others folded their arms. Yulin raised her hand. "You broke protocol. You've entered a forbidden zone. You've accessed banned human technology. Vell didn't step back, because you told us lies for 50 years, and now the galaxy is not ready for what's coming." The screen behind Vell lit up. She showed the council a harvester video. Massive black ships ripping the planet apart. Machines with glowing red cores swarming through cities. No survivors. Gasps turned to silence. One member from the Callan species said, "That can't be real." Vell pointed at the image. It happened. The humans tried to stop them. The council ignored the warnings. "Now we're next." Yulin stood. "That's enough. This council will not fall for human tricks. We declared humans dangerous for a reason. Their warnings were a cover for war." Vell narrowed her eyes. "Then why did they leave help behind? Why hide weapons across space? Why warn us with their final breath?" The chamber fell silent again. Because deep inside, many leaders felt the truth. This wasn't a trick. This was a storm coming their way. But fear is a strong enemy. Instead of preparing, the council argued, "They're trying to divide us. This is human manipulation. We should destroy all that data." Vell stood her ground. "If you won't believe the truth, then I'll find others who will." Yulin's voice became sharp. "Commander Vell, you are hereby suspended. You are not to speak of this again." Guards stepped forward. Kiro, standing by the side, looked shocked. "Mom." Vell raised her hand. "It's fine." She handed over her datapad and walked out, head high. But in her other hand, she still held the real data, hidden in a secret device in her coat. That night, Vell sat in a small room far from the council. Kiro was with her. "We can't let this go," he said. "We saw what's coming." Vell looked at the stars outside the window. We don't need the Council's permission. We need action. Caro asked, "What now?" She placed the device on the table and turned it on. The human map of hidden bases appeared again. We start searching, one by one, and we find help. The first place was a small moon called Drain 3, near the edge of Council space. The map showed it held a deep vault, human tech, maybe weapons. Vel and Caro took a small ship and flew quietly through back routes. They didn't tell anyone. They didn't ask for permission. They just went. Drain 3 was cold and empty. Dust covered the rocks. The sky above was black. But under the surface, their scanners picked up something. Energy. They found an entrance buried under stone. After 2 hours of digging and cutting, they opened it. Inside, a human vault. And what was inside it changed everything. Rows of anti-machine weapons, small mobile turrets, laser drills, and one strange glowing orb. Caro scanned it. This is advanced AI, human-made, old but still awake. Vel activated it. The orb lit up. A soft voice spoke. "Welcome. If you're not human, then the harvesters are near, and you're already late." Vel and Caro stood in silence. There was no more doubt. The humans had left behind everything the galaxy would need to fight back, if someone was brave enough to use it. Vel whispered, "The Council wants silence, but I want survival." She turned to Caro. "Ready to find the next base?" He nodded. "Let's make the galaxy listen." Far away, deep in the dark corners of space, a signal flashed in red. A harvester probe had found a new system. It moved forward, cold, silent, hungry. The stars were calm. But Vel knew it was the calm before the storm. 17 harvester ships were on the move. And behind them, something worse was coming. A harvester capital ship the size of a moon. If they didn't stop it now, the galaxy would fall. There was only one hope left: Project Eclipse. But the activation codes were hidden on Council Prime, the very place where Vel had been banned. She and Caro sat inside their ship, the stolen human and Nova 9 glowing on the console. "I've located the codes," Nova 9 said. "They are inside the Council's secure data vault, deep under the chamber." Vel took a deep breath. "Then we go back. One last mission." Council Prime was in chaos. News of destroyed colonies had reached the core worlds. People were afraid. Ships were fleeing. Some outer systems had stopped responding. Council leader Yulin stood before the chamber. Her voice shook. "This is Vel's doing. She has spread fear and stolen forbidden tech. She wants war." But not everyone agreed anymore. Councilor Rayo stood and spoke to all. Vel was right. The humans were not monsters. They were guardians. We silenced them. And now the darkness comes. Suddenly, the chamber doors burst open. Vel and Caro walked in, flanked by 2 pilots from Tauran 5. Gasps filled the room. Yulin shouted, "Guards, arrest her!" But no one moved. Too many eyes had seen the truth now. Too many had heard the harvester signals. Vel stepped forward. She placed the Titan strike weapon on the floor. "This is what the humans left us. This is our chance to fight back." Then she held up the Nova 9 device. "Project Eclipse is real. It can shut down the harvester fleet. But we need the codes, and you locked them away." Yulin was silent, because in that moment, even she knew. The war had already begun. Vel and Caro were allowed access to the vault. Deep underground, in a cold room of old data towers, Nova 9 found the codes. Linking to Project Eclipse. Connected. Nova 9 glowed brighter. "Eclipse ready. Once activated, it will send a pulse that disrupts all harvester AI in range, but it must be delivered close to the capital ship, and it will destroy me in the process." Vel paused. "You'll die." Nova 9 replied, "I was built to protect, not to last." Vel looked at the small glowing orb. "Then let's make it count." The final battle began near the old ruins of Earth. The harvester fleet arrived, black ships floating in silence. Machines spread out like shadows. But something waited for them. Vel's team. Allies from fringe colonies. Drones from the Zareth Vault. Fighters built from old human plans. The first human tech fleet in 50 years. And above it all, Vel's ship flew forward, carrying Nova 9 and Project Eclipse. The battle was brutal, Plasma blasts lit up the sky. Drones swarmed. Ships exploded. Vel flew toward the center, the capital ship. It was massive, with red glowing cores and a dark shield. She dodged enemy fire. Caro sat beside her, launching counterstrikes. "We're close," he shouted. Nova 9 beeped. "Target in range. Beginning charge." The Harvester capital ship saw them. It released a giant beam, burning everything in its path. Vel flew low, fast, under the enemy shields. Her ship shook. Alarms blared. Nova 9 gave its final words. "Goodbye, I was proud to serve." Then it activated. A silent pulse burst out from the ship, a flash of white light, and the Harvester fleet froze. Every ship, every drone, every machine, silent, dead, powerless. Vel's ship spun out, systems failing. They crashed into a quiet orbit above Earth's ruins. When Vel opened her eyes, everything was quiet. No red lights, no enemy fire. Just stars and silence. Caro groaned. "We're alive." Vel smiled. "We're alive." Later, the council called Vel a hero. Project Eclipse was studied. New defenses were built. The vaults were opened. Humanity's warnings were finally heard. But Nova 9 was gone. And so was the capital ship. Broken, drifting into space. Vel looked at the stars from a balcony. Caro joined her. "Do you think they'll come back?" Vel nodded slowly. "Yes. Maybe not soon, but someday." He asked, "What do we do then?" She turned to him. "We fight. Together. Like the humans once did." The ban on humans had ended, and their legacy had just begun. Commander Vel stood in front of the strange glowing orb. It hovered in the air, humming softly. A voice inside spoke again. Clear, calm, and very human. "This is AI Unit Nova 9. Last updated 52 years ago. Activated emergency mode. Scanning users. Confirmed. Non-hostile." Caro looked at Vel. "This AI is still active after 50 years. Vel nodded. "And it wants to help us." Nova 9 continued. "This vault contains Project Ember. Final human defense tech, forbidden by council law. Use only in case of full system threat." Vel looked around the vault. The walls held advanced machines, strange weapons, and energy cells she had never seen before. Some glowed with red cores. Others had long tubes and strange buttons. "What is Project Ember?" Caro asked. Nova 9 replied. "Weapons designed to stop the Harvester fleet. Plasma mines, shield disruptors, anti-machine viruses. These were banned by the Council after the war." Vel frowned. "Why would they ban this tech?" Nova 9 answered. "The Council feared what they didn't understand. They feared the power of humans. They called these weapons too dangerous, so they locked them away." Caro shook his head. "They locked away our only hope." Vel walked deeper into the vault. She stopped at a large metal case. It was sealed tight, but a screen on the front still worked. She placed her hand on it. The case opened slowly. Inside was a weapon unlike any she had ever seen. It was long and dark, with glowing blue lines. The label read, "Titan Strike, one-shot harvester killer." Vel whispered, "This could destroy a harvester ship." Nova 9 confirmed. "Yes, one shot, one kill, but it must be used carefully. It charges slowly. It cannot be replaced." Vel turned to Caro. "This is why the humans built these vaults. They knew no one would listen. So they left the tools behind for those who would." Outside the vault, the stars were calm. But not for long. In the darkness beyond Drain 3, a Harvester scout ship had entered the system. It moved slowly, scanning for life, for energy, for targets. And it found something. The vault. Inside the control room, alarms began to beep. Caro ran to the console. "We've got company." Vel looked at the map. A red dot was moving closer. Fast. Nova 9 spoke. "Harvester scout detected. Limited weapons. Fast but weak. Recommend test fire of vault defense system." Vel nodded. "Do it." Outside, ancient human weapons woke up. Hidden turrets rose from the ground. They glowed with orange light. The Harvester scout entered range. Boom! The turrets fired at the same time. Bright lines of plasma shot through space. The scout tried to dodge. Too late. It exploded in flames and metal. Vel watched from the screen. It worked, she said. Caro grinned. First harvester kill in over 50 years. Nova 9 spoke again. Warning. Signal was sent before destruction. Harvesters now aware of your location. Vel's face turned serious. Then we move. Now. They packed everything they could. Nova 9 was uploaded into their ship. The Titan strike weapon was locked in the cargo hold. They loaded energy cells, blueprints, and maps from the vault. As they took off, Vel looked down at the moon. This was just the beginning, she said. Back on Council Prime, Leader Yulin was furious. Reports had come in. Vel had broken into another human site. She had stolen forbidden tech. A harvester scout was destroyed. The council argued again. She's dangerous. She's making us a target. She's working with human ghosts. But others were not so sure anymore. A few members whispered quietly. What if she's right? What if the real danger isn't Vel, but what's coming? Vel and Caro flew toward the next vault location. This one was hidden in a gas giant, deep in the clouds of a planet called Zareth 6. Nova 9 spoke from the ship's console. Next base holds advanced fighter plans and AI-assisted drones. We must move fast. The harvesters will not wait long. Vel stared at the stars ahead. We'll get it. We'll build what the humans started, and we'll fight. She gripped the controls. Because if we don't, no one will. Far beyond, in deep space, harvester ships began to turn. Blacks, silent, endless. They had seen the fire. They had seen the human spark return. And now, they were coming.